Guns are a very dangerous weapon, and it is too easy to use and too evident and too available. We have, I think in the Philippines, almost 4 million guns. Doon pa lang sa registered yun. Wala pa yung mga loose firearms. And that's, again, the bigger question. Christian, 98% ng guns, gun violence, gun crimes, are committed by illegal firearms. Yung mga loose firearms, walang serial number, dinakaw. It's called the Robin Padilla Law. Natatanda mo yung mga 1993 nakulong si Robin Padilla at gumawa si Senator, the older Senator Revilla ng batas para ma-repeal yung batas na yon, na ginawa siyang 12 years lang ang penalty and bailable. Subsequently, naging lagana pang loose firearms. The previous law was based on a presidential decree by Marcos, by President Ferdinand Marcos, na yung penalty for illegal firearms was 20 years and above. Nung Padilla Law, Robin Padilla Law, ginawa lang siyang simple crime na 12 years and below, na bailable. Kaya, pag may nahuhuli kami sa checkpoint, pag meron kaming may search warrant, baliwala ang may illegal firearms ka. Wherein it should be a nice stress, and I talked to Congress already and we're gonna work on it. It should be a non-bailable offense since 98% of the crimes are committed by illegal firearms.
Okay, obvious naman po no, yung problema dyan dahil kung meron mang batang na-impluensyahan, that in itself is a problem, let's say by Roblox, hindi po ba? Pero kung wala naman siyang access sa baril or access that easily, hindi mangyayaring krimen, hindi po ba? Ang problema rito, ano ba yung plano ninyo in terms of dealing with this age-old problem of loose firearms in our country? Remember in the past, diba, meron pa po mga amnesty yan, etc. etc.
Tama. In this time, I'm gonna ask Congress for sharper teeth in order to deal with them. I'm about to meet with the House leadership next week. Gagawa kami ng course of action. Pero if I were to be asked, dapat dyan bigyan sila ng 1-month amnesty to register or to surrender their loose firearms. Dapat dyan yung mga lahat ng mga uniform personnel ay bibigyan ng special instructions to sa safekeeping. And afterwards, ang aming weapon dyan ay yung either checkpoints or yung mga search warrants na pwede namin puntahan. Christian, isa pang deeper statistic na nakita namin. Most of the criminal gangs ng mga Chinese na andi dito, ang ginagamit na ng bodyguards ay yung mga dismissed or dishonorably dismissed uniform personnel ng AFP at PNP. At hindi nila sinusurrender yung mga damit nila. So ginagamit nila sa operations nila, katulad merong isang incident a few weeks ago, naka-CIDG uniform pa, pero pag-discover namin, dismissed na pala siya, pero nasa kanya pa rin yung uniform niya. So that itself should be a penalty too. Yung the possession of military or police uniforms illegally should be a crime in itself also.
How about yung access po dun sa sa legal guns? No? Meron ba kayong balak na parang pag-repaso doon? Kunwari, mga psychological tests, etc. to make it stricter?
Very odd, Christian. Yung legal guns is only 2% of all the crimes. And most of them are crimes of passion. Yung, alam niyo na yun, yung biglang nagagalit. Diba? Oo, pero it's never been used in organized crime. So in that case, I am with the responsible ownership of guns. It works. Mababa ang crime rate basta may-ari ay legal. Yung illegal talaga tayo may problema. But in this case, it's the uniform personnel naman ang kinuna ng baril ng mga bata. And that has to be a separate problem in its own kung paano namin ng AFP at saka PNP na ituro yung proper safekeeping and to make it the penalty greater kung hindi nila inalagaan ng mga baril nila.
In terms of yung ibang binabanggit yung secretary, very concrete response in light of what happened. Pero ano pa po yung mga nakikita niyong measures na pwedeng o dapat i-implement ng pamahalaan, ng communities, ng mga schools to make it more difficult for these things to happen?
Well, number one dyan, yung siyempre pinag-usapan na namin yung bullying. we were born of a different time eh. Yung panahon na yon, pinapalo tayo ng magulang natin, normal yon, di ba? So kung
Yeah, yeah.
nabubuli ka, parang mas yung may iba yung, I'm not advocating for anything pero iba we were children of different time. Ngayon kasi iba yung sensibilities ng mga bata, iba yung sensibilities ng mga magulang, iba yung influence ng internet. There's everything is never has there anything been as ubiquitous and nefarious as the internet. It's a great tool for learning, a great tool for communication, and a great deal for productivity. But it's also a great tool. It's also a window for children to be influenced. At ayun ang dapat ma-control natin. If I were the one, kung ako lang masusunod, and we're making concrete steps towards it, dapat meron tayong national ID. A physical national ID. Na bago ka mag-register sa internet, ay ipapakita mo muna yung mukha mo at i-register nila at may gateway kung papayagan ka sa mga games yan o hindi. It goes to illegal gambling, it goes to gaming, it goes to pornography. Dapat yan, kung may ID ka, kung may national ID tayo, meron tayong filter system bago ko pumasok sa isang website kung pwede o hindi. But I'm sure it will cause a lot of libertarians a great sense of anger now. But for me, my immediate plan is to create a barrier para bago sila makapasok sa mga websites na yan.
I remember, isa sa mga nabanggit nyo before, yung pag-regulate ng social media use sa mga kabataan, sa mga minors. How seriously are you considering that?
Well, it's a great argument in Congress. Sa Congress yan eh. We cannot do it executively. Sa executive. So, it's a great debate for Congress. But titignan natin ng Australia, they've been very successful at it and it's worked. It's worked. Their model has worked. Na-limit ang gamit ng social media of children, I think, below 16. Parang ganun eh. I'm not sure about the laws, but it's worked. Bumaba ang lahat ng measurables of problems with teenagers. And I think it should be the same here. It's gotten out of hand lalo na when violence is normalized, when sex is normalized to the degree na it is too available and they become desensitized to it. Kailangan meron tayong filters or meron tayong barriers so that when minds are not fully formed, pinag-aralan namin I had a long meeting with the president and some psychologists about it. They call it when the prefrontal cortex and the prefrontal lobe and the limbic cortex are not fully developed, they have a greater propensity for bad judgment. And that is only completed at around the ages 23 to 25. So in this case, yung mga bata, talagang hindi pa fully formed ang brains nila eh. So it leads them to make bad judgments pagdating sa kanyang klaseng exposure.
Finally, Secretary, no, you mentioned you met with the President about this, na pag-usapan yung, I suppose, more deeply yung problema. Pero given what happened, no, nakakadalawang successful active shooting incidents na, and this is not something to be proud of. These are definitely a tragedy. How high up sa priority list ng administration po yung in terms of dealing with this very, very, very serious problem?
Very high. I have children who are studying. The president has nephews who are still studying. And he really got the top psychologists in the country to explain to him of what is happening. Kaya nag-umpisa na kami, nagkaroon na kami ng active shooter drills. We're putting now sa budget guidance counselors para sa lahat ng mga public schools. Ginawa namin yung dapat namin ginawa, yung naglagay na kami ng police presence sa lahat ng mga eskwelahan, even private. Meron kaming police presence. But sometimes it goes deeper and in a very saddening way, naging too available ang weapons of hurting people. It became too available. Guns became too available. Knives become too available. And the thoughts of nihilism with children is too prevalent now that it's very easy to get influenced.